Hi, this is Jack Willard. The title of our relatively short video is Did Elvis Preach Lisa Marie's Private Funeral? There's new material in this video, so watch the whole thing. Subscribe, and if you like it, hit the like button. I'm doing this in late December of 2023. We have a video entitled Who Preached Lisa Marie's Private Funeral? Not talking about the public memorial. And as I talk to you now, that video has over 67,000 hits. And I thank you for that. Now, we have to remember that the private funeral is not to be confused with the public memorial. We speak of the pastor from Benton, Arkansas, quite often, your favorite topic, Pastor Bob Joyce. On the day of the public memorial, he preached opposite that service in Memphis, in Benton, Arkansas, at the very same time. So Bob Joyce was not at the public memorial. Instead, as we have covered before, he sang a song that Lisa Marie used as a tribute to her father, Elvis Presley, and turned it into a duet. No One Stands Alone. Of all the songs he could have picked during a praise service, Bob Joyce picked a song that is not in the praise song category to do live. Some feel he muttered into the microphone, "I love you, Lisa," which was the nickname for Lisa Marie. So many coincidences that we've covered here at this channel since we began talking about the topic in 2018. We're now up to way more than 50 coincidences, certainly. So I'm going to show you the funeral card, what was given to those who attended. We should first tell you that this was just for close family and friends, as reported by TMZ. Also, TMZ reported that each guest could not bring a recording device in and was required to sign a NDA, a non-disclosure agreement. You could not talk about what you saw and heard at the private funeral. TMZ announced when it was going to be. I think they gave a date that was one day off, but they did not do a follow-up story afterwards. They did not have cameras at the gate of Graceland that we know of to see who came in and who came out. So if there is a video of this service, it's the house video that they themselves recorded and kept private. I'll show you the card. You'll only be able to, maybe if you freeze frame it, it'll be better. You'll only be able to make out some of it. Then I will read to you what's on the card. So, what does the card say? It says Saturday, 1/28/23, 11 a.m., Graceland Memorial, Elvis Presley Boulevard, Memphis, Tennessee. Bob Joyce, pastor, officiating. Musical prelude or prelude, Austin Butler. Musical tribute, Tom Presley. Scripture reading, Old Testament, Bob Joyce. This time they don't say pastor. Bob Joyce, Rolling Hills. Now, I have looked into Rolling Hills. Is there another Bob Joyce who's a pastor in Memphis, Tennessee, and the name of the church is Rolling Hills? I couldn't find anything like that. So I don't know about the Rolling Hills term, but someone smart out there in the audience will be able to comment, I have a feeling. The prayer, Bob Joyce. Words of comfort, Pastor Bob Joyce, Memphis, Tennessee. Song, once again, Tom Presley. The eulogy, Pastor Bob Joyce, Rolling Hills. The recessional song, Austin Butler. That's what's on that card, and it talks about the interment, which of course was at Graceland. Who is Tom Presley? Well, you can find his music right here on YouTube and other places. Kind of a Dennis Quaid look-alike. Could we see a little Elvis in there? People propose that he is the love child son of Elvis Presley. I don't know that to be true, but that is what they say. Did Elvis have a love child son? Tom Presley, perhaps? Is that him? I am sure some will say, no, that's so-and-so. When you do that, supply your proof that it's so-and-so. Don't just say it, because all I'm doing here is speaking about possibilities. I could be wrong about the whole thing. I'm going to show you some of the pictures that made an impact here in 2023. But here's something interesting. Well, I want to do this in the proper order. We showed you some still shots of that very blurry video that's been on YouTube forever, which many think is Bob Joyce leaving Graceland, getting into a black SUV. It's terrible quality, and I can't make it any better. But these shots, face is washed out. Here's another one, of course. Many saying that that's Bob Joyce getting into a black SUV in front of Graceland. This picture is even more blurry except for one person in it. And this is a few years ago. Really, if you look at the man in the pink shirt, you can almost see Bob Joyce there. And I think next to him is Lisa Marie. Lisa Marie. I'm almost 100% that is Lisa Marie. What do you think? So they say, well, that's the caretaker. He has a white beard and white hair. That's what they'll say. They'll say, it's the caretaker. And of course, there's pictures of the caretaker. Now, anytime I hold up pictures from my phone, there will be those that complain, oh, we can't see it. Then I'll look at the video and I can see it, but I'm not claiming that it's high quality, but I think you can see that man right there. That's the caretaker. I think that is not the man that we are looking at in front of Graceland, perhaps standing next to Lisa Marie, and then getting into a black SUV. The video was shot from far away. But a picture that I came across that I want to show you next comes with an article that was posted publicly. And maybe some of you have seen this. Why can't 88-year-old Pastor Bob Joyce say he is Elvis Aaron Presley in his own words? This is from Kathy Stone. And that's fair use, since it was a public posting, for us to take a look at some of what she said. And it's very interesting to me because it involves my former radio boss. For anyone wondering why Bob Joyce on his Facebook site called Elvis Aaron Presley Alive under Bob Joyce 2023 will not say that he's Elvis when people ask him, it's because his daughter, Lisa Marie, was low on money and sold the rights to his name and his image to Robert Silman. That is my ex-radio boss from the very city I am speaking to you now. He began his radio empire in this small city where I live. Plus, if he does say openly on site he is Elvis Presley, he can be sued. Silman is using Elvis's name and image to build heartbreak hotels all over the U.S. and world. Lisa Marie possibly, well, I won't even say that because I don't agree with what she says about Lisa Marie. But she does list some terms. Here are the terms of the deal between Silman and Lisa Marie Presley. $114 million was paid for an 85% interest in Elvis Presley Enterprises. Lisa retains the other 15%. Lisa received $50 million in cash plus $26 million in CKX common and preferred stock. Another $25 million from CKX went to pay off the Elvis Presley Enterprises debt, and $6.5 million went to Priscilla Presley for use of the family name. So that's part of what Kathy Stone posted. That's part of what she posted. So you can see that this is an extremely complicated story. Now, Robert F.X. Silman, who was already rich when I worked for him, just a mile down the road, went on to build an empire of many big radio stations, but he also saw that radio was dying, and then he went into television. He bought a piece, if not all, of American Idol, and had many businesses. When he was here in this city, he had other businesses and was filthy rich then, but he would eventually hit the Forbes list. Way down, but he was on the Forbes list for a while. Then I heard somewhere around 2015 that he was sick and doing everything he could to recover, and he was getting better, I heard. But then in 2019, Bob Silman, whose house I used to go into for radio station Christmas parties, passed away. So who owns his wife's name is Laura Silman. Whether she owns it or whoever, I don't know. I don't know for sure who took over the ownership, whether it's been sold or what have you. But I do know that sadly, Bob Silman, Robert F.X. Silman, passed away in 2019. So it is a story that is filled with all kinds of mysterious coincidences, so-called coincidences, and it'll make a great movie someday. I don't know if I'll be alive to see it, but it'll make a great movie. Now, let's see some of the things that we posted, or we showed what other people posted in this case right here. Someone after the death of Lisa Marie Presley, untimely tragic death on the 12th of January 2023, one of the prominent members of the church at that time posted condolences on their Facebook page, and this got a lot of attention, and everybody was sending me this. And that became very close to definitive proof. And that's all I have to say about that. Some of the photos we posted this year was of Pastor Bob Joyce and Willina. This is the hardest to figure out part of the story because this woman here, Willina Hattie, married Robert Wayne Joyce in 1975 when Elvis Presley was still very active being Elvis. They married in Texas and then moved to Little Rock, Arkansas. They have 3 children, including Matt Joyce. And so here's a photo of Pastor Bob and Willina. But if you look at videos like The Verdict, the Elvis Bob Joyce The Verdict video, you will see pictures of Robert Wayne Joyce, who I think is a totally different man than the man who pastors at Household of Faith. In 2023, we had a successful video, Pastor Bob Joyce Close Up. People who say he's not 88, about to go to the age of 89 in January of 2024. You know, people that meet him when they go to Household of Faith say he looks older. People that hug him say, one was a healthcare worker. I thought that was an interesting comment this year, that when they hugged him, they felt like, since they work with elderly people, that they were holding the frame of someone older than, say, 71 years old. Another big video for this year, just speaking about possibilities. I said at the beginning it could be photoshopped, and my guess is there's at least a 50% chance it was. But our video asking the question, did Pastor Bob Joyce meet up with Priscilla Presley, got a lot of attention. That video is still growing. And the reason that there is distortion, there's lens distortion that happens. Now, first of all, they weren't posing, they were walking. And lens distortion can happen, which can distort, say, the weight of the thighs, etc., make Priscilla look taller as well than she really is. Lens distortion. Another big video for us this year is when we posted something from 2019. Allegedly, Pastor Bob Joyce in Vernon's backyard next to Graceland. That video got a lot of attention. This one did too. We have Pastor Bob with a cane, perhaps, or is that something hanging from the drape? I'm not sure. but what looks to be Priscilla Presley with Bob Joyce, and everybody thinks that's Graceland. I have no idea, but that got a lot of attention, that photo, in 2023. As I say, the strangest part of the story is trying to figure out if the current pastor is married to Willina or Robert Wayne Joyce is still married to her. Are we right in saying it's two people? We speak of possibilities and we try to show the difference. But here they are. I always think this is an Applebee's. I don't know why. Perhaps after a Sunday service, there they are there. The beloved pastor from Benton has the kind of hair that older men would pay big money for. So what about Willina when she was young? Is this her here in Germany? Did she meet Soldier Presley there? Oh, well, she's just signing an autograph. No, there's more than a dozen pictures of them together. You also see at the bottom another picture of her with Soldier Presley, and you see the current pastor, Bob Joyce, with an older Willina there. Perhaps young Willina with Elvis, and maybe Willina's mother. I don't know. We showed that picture this year. On TikTok, that JJB. JJB put that up. Check his work out. We even showed Elvis with Marilyn Monroe. And once again, the story came up about the possibility that Pastor Bob Joyce attended the funeral of George Klein, Memphis disc jockey. He was on the Elvis station on Sirius XM at the end of his life, that he attended the funeral of George Klein, who Elvis Presley once said he considered George Klein his best friend, gave him a Cadillac. George Klein, who was a legend in Memphis even before Sirius XM. He was on the big AM station there playing Elvis and other stuff there. He was in the loop. He was definitely in the loop when he died. There was like 400 or 500 people there. Sitting behind the man we think may be Pastor Bob Joyce, a little bit further down the row, was Priscilla Presley. She was called up to speak by the rabbi. She did, and when she came back, she passed by the back of Pastor Bob Joyce and perhaps Matt Joyce sitting there, and she touched his shoulder and back as she went by him. That's the possibility that we have spoke about for a few years now on that story. So that's kind of a recap of what we have covered in 2023. And for the first time, we showed the actual funeral card that may be real or may be fake. It would be easy to fake something like that, so we don't make any definitive conclusions, but we just present the evidence and you decide. If you disagree, it's always good if you supply some evidence as to why you disagree. Sometimes people will say they disagree with me, but I'm never sure what it is they're disagreeing with, what point they are speaking of, and it's impossible for me to know because, well, in 2023, we have released the most content we ever had. We're trying to move on to other topics. It's not easy. We do live shows many Saturday nights, and sometimes we come on live unexpectedly, and we talk about a whole bunch of other things, and it's my heart's desire to do more of that. But this is your favorite topic, and so we close out 2023 with this video here. Did Elvis Presley preach Lisa Marie's private funeral? That's up to you to decide what you feel about that. My personal email is jackthefairguy@gmail.com. That's Jack the F-A-I-R guy at gmail.com. You can comment right here in the video. 2024 is going to be a very challenging year around the world. We're going to have to be in prayer, and we're going to cover what's happening, if the Lord allows, on those important issues. But I thank you for joining us this time, and we'll talk to you again very soon. Bye-bye now.